getting ready to eat on, all right? Shalom. What we got here? We got some roast. What is that?
That's turkey.
Turkey. All right, that's the turkey. All right. All right. We got yellow corn with bacon, pepper bacon at that, and black pepper. All right. We got fried cabbage. We got dirty rice, and over there we got cornbread dressing. Coming on around. What's this right here?
That is the pork roast.
This is cut up pork roast.
That's the beef roast.
Cut up beef roast.
I just lost the
And this is my world famous. Look at that ham right there. Y'all see that? Y'all see that there? Do y'all see that there? All right. That's that ham. That ham was marinated in Coca-Cola for about 2 straight days.
Okay,
Got my own private glaze on there. All right. Oh.
Shalom, everybody.
Shalom. This the chef.
To the family.
Peace and blessings. All praises.
Oh, you want to show the pies?
Oh, well, yeah. Ain't we modest? Check them out.
So you see all of them children in there?
Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered throughout the 4 corners of the earth. And to all my brothers out here preaching this truth to you, I say Shalom. This is a Montazar from the Chicago camp, coming back at you again with another lesson entitled Marinated for 2 Days in Coca-Cola. So, first I want to say the water to the elder, Yashawamba, for bringing this great video. I wanted to speak on it because I've talked about this before. I actually have a lesson on my channel. It's a 4-part lesson that talks about swine flesh. Okay, it's called Swine Flesh, Strange Religion, Because I Fear Him. And it goes deep into this eating swine's flesh. All right, it defiles you. All right, so it's one of those unclean foods. All right, that we're not supposed to be eating at all. And it's amazing how this group of so-called Israelites, they got a hold of the name. Okay, so with the name of Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai, at the very basics of being born again and repenting, you can't keep, or you're not trying to keep, or don't believe you're supposed to keep the dietary laws. Meanwhile, you're wearing shirts with menorahs and you Shalom and Shalom family. She don't even sound right saying it. And you eating yellow corn with black pepper and bacon, black pepper bacon and pork roast and ham with your marinated for 2 days in Coca-Cola. Talking about that's his own private glaze. I don't understand this. I mean, I do understand it. All right. Because we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. It's hard to believe that you then came into the knowledge of the truth and know the name of the Heavenly Father and His Son, and you can't, at the very least, keep the dietary laws. You didn't let Esau make you believe that it's okay with prayer and thanksgiving to eat this food. See, and that's exactly why this devil took the Apocrypha out of the Bible. The Apocrypha explains, all right, that the death of Eleazar, all right, and the death of the 7 sons and the mother, all right, these were memorials, okay? A memorial is something to be remembered. So we're going to go over that. Let's go ahead and jump into, let's go first Maccabees 1:11. All right, so I'll go 1:11 through 15, and then we're going to jump down to 41 through 50, and we're going to end off in this section 61 through 63. First Maccabees 1 and 11, and it reads, "In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well, when certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief." This group of so-called Israelites, okay, have joined themselves to the heathen, and they're sold to do mischief. All right, those same spirits back then, all right, are working today. All right, this ain't no real Israelite group. All right, that's not no real Israelite group. Okay, this is Esau hand all over it. All right, they started out showing the menorah on the table. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. This makes absolutely no sense. All right. And it doesn't make sense for anyone who would know this great name and this great gospel, that at the very basics, okay, and they putting it on video for the world to see. All right. So it's a mockery. All right. Let's jump. So this is this First Maccabees 11 and 15. Of course, this is after Alexander the Greek, okay, passed away and imparted his kingdom, and many evils were multiplied in the earth because Esau Edom took the reins. Let's jump down to 41. Okay, verse 41. It says, "Moreover, King Antiochus or Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and every one should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath." It says, "For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people." You see, that's what they want to do, is pollute you. "Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beast." All right. Swine's flesh is what was in that peppercorn with the bacon. That bacon was swine's flesh, and that pork roast and that ham. Okay? That they should also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation. To the end, all right, so this is the point, to the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. Okay? So back then, this is what Israelites were working under. Okay? And that's why they couldn't call themselves Israelites. This is how the Israelites became Gentiles. Okay? So it was death involved. Okay? They was making us eat swine's flesh, all right, or putting us to death. Jump down to 61. Well, let me hit that 60. So they were doing everything they could to take us away from following our laws. All right, they stopped us from circumcising our children, and stopped us from observing the Sabbath, with purity. This is verse 60, First Maccabees 1 and 60. "At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. And they hanged the infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them. Howbeit, many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. Wherefore the rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profaned the holy covenant. So then they died, and there was great wrath upon Israel. So now here you have in verse 63 says that you're defiled. Okay, you'll be defiled eating certain meats. But Esau come and tell you everything is acceptable with prayer and thanksgiving, and you believe it. Yet we haven't, but again, that's why Esau took the Apocrypha out of the Bible. So you can't see these memorials. You can't see these deaths. You can't see, all right, that you're doing, you're defiling yourself and committing sin. Okay? The scriptures call abominable. All right? Let's go to First Maccabees, the 2nd chapter, and look at Mattathias. We'll start off at 19. All right. So Mattathias and his sons led the so-called revolt. All right, against these heathen. It says, then Mattathias answered and spoke with a loud voice, though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him and fall away every one from the religion of their fathers and gives consent to his commandments, yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers. Most High forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances. We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion, either on the right hand or the left. All right. Now, just Salakia for not giving you the backdrop. All right. So the backdrop is one of the king's servants came to Mattathias because they knew he had recognition of the people and tried to convince him, to eat swine's flesh and sacrifice, all right, to the idols. And he was like, nah, that's not about to happen. All right. Now watch what happened to this motherfucking pork eater. Okay. All right. And watch what happens and what Mattathias does. All right. And think back to the video. Verse 23. Now, when he had left speaking these words, there came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar which was at Modin, according to the king's commandment. Which thing when Mattathias saw, he was inflamed with zeal, and his reins trembled. Neither could he forbear to show his anger according to judgment. Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar. Okay? He slew him on the altar. You see? That's what these ROI Israelites need. They need to be slayed on the altar. Okay? All right. Let's go to let's go ahead and wrap this up and close this. We're gonna go to 2nd Maccabees. We're gonna go to 2nd Maccabees, the 6th chapter, and give you the backdrop on the memorial. 6 and 18. All right, so this is Eleazar. 6 and 18. 2nd Maccabees 6 and 18, and it reads, Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man and of a well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth to eat swine's flesh. All right, so this is the backdrop. All right, so this man of faith, okay, long in the faith. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, let me see. How old was he? He was old. I want to say Salakia, he was 98 or something. I don't want to get hung up on that though. He was old in the faith. And he refused, let me see. He refused to make himself abominable by eating swine's flesh. And so he said, take me to the torment. Okay? Because he said, I can't, he said, if I try to live any longer, okay, I can't escape the Lord. Let me see. I can't. Maybe I'm moving too fast. Salakia, I'm trying to make this video as short as possible. Let me see. Okay. All right. Y'all gonna have to find it. You're gonna have to find it yourself. Read. You should be reading anyway. If I'm not mistaken, he was 98. There it is. No, okay. He was 80 years old and 10. He was 90. Salakia, he was 90. 80. All right. 4 times 20. Right? That's 80 and 10. So he was 90 years old. Salakia, I don't know where I got 98. All right. I'm glad I found that. All right. So let's get on with it. Verse 30. Okay. Remember, he said, take me to the torment. So let's see what the scripture says. It says, but when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned and said, it is manifest unto the Lord that hath the holy knowledge, that whereas I might have been delivered from death, I now endure sore pains in body by being beaten. But in soul am I well content to suffer these things, because I fear him. And thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of a noble courage and a memorial of virtue. See that? Not only unto young men, but unto all his nation. So his death, okay, or his refusal to be defiled by these unclean, abominable meats, okay, led to him receiving a memorial, something to be remembered, passed on from generation to generation to generation. Okay? You can't eat pork. You can't eat swine's flesh today. All right? And in closing, 2 Maccabees 7, 40 through 42. All right, so if you're familiar with the story, if you're not familiar with the story, you had the mother and her 7 sons, okay, who refused to eat the swine's flesh. Okay, they refused to eat it, and they were all maimed. All right, they was cut up into pieces and thrown into frying pan. All right, and none of them consented. None of them ate the swine's flesh. All right, and this is how they ended up. Okay, got the heat going in here. Salakia. Okay. So because they refused to eat the swine's flesh, all right, this is how the memorial went for them. This is 2 Maccabees 7 and 40. It says, so this man died, this was the last of her sons, undefiled, and put his whole trust in the Lord. Last of all, after the sons, the mother died. Let this be enough now to have spoken concerning the idolatrous feasts and the extreme tortures. Okay? All right, so our heritage, okay, this great gospel that we have, all right, the law, statutes, and commandments, they haven't changed, okay? And eating swine's flesh, all right, is going to get you put to death. So this has been marinated for 2 days in Coca-Cola. I pray that this lesson has been edifying. Until the next one, Shalom.